London, 1,000 years behind the stone. Stone walls rise beside the Thames, silent and unmoving. Yet within them echo screams, whispers, prayers, and royal commands. Crowns were protected here. Kings were betrayed here. Some entered as princes and vanished forever. This is not just a castle. This is not just a prison. This is the Tower of London, where power ruled, blood was spilled, and history was never merciful. The beginning of power. In the year 1066, England changed forever. After conquering the land, William of Normandy stood victorious. But victory alone was not enough. London was restless, dangerous, and filled with those who might rebel. William needed a symbol of domination, something impossible to ignore. So he ordered a fortress of stone to rise above the city. At its heart stood the White Tower, massive, cold, and unyielding. Its walls were thick enough to withstand siege, its height commanding fear and obedience. It was designed not for comfort, but for control. To the people of London, the message was clear. A new ruler watched them from above. From fortress to royal residence, as decades passed, the tower grew. Kings expanded its walls, strengthened its defenses, and carved chambers into stone. Despite its grim exterior, it became a place of royal life. Kings slept within its walls. Queens walked its corridors. Feasts were held beneath heavy beams and flickering torchlight. Surrounded by moats and guarded by armed men, the tower was one of the safest places in England. It held weapons, treasures, and secrets of the crown. But safety for the king often meant fear for everyone else. The tower becomes a prison. Slowly, the tower's purpose began to shift. Enemies of the crown were no longer sent far away. They were brought here. To be imprisoned in the tower meant one thing: you were important and dangerous. Nobles accused of treason, political rivals, religious reformers, and fallen favorites were locked behind its heavy doors. Some lived in relative comfort, dining well and receiving visitors. Others were dragged into darkness, confined to stone cells, listening to footsteps echo above them. For many, the tower was not the end. It was the waiting room for death. The Reign of Fear. No king shaped the tower's bloody reputation more than Henry VIII. Suspicion ruled his court, and the tower became a tool of terror. His own wives were not spared. Anne Boleyn entered the tower as Queen of England and left it as a condemned prisoner. She was accused of treason, adultery, and incest, charges that shocked the nation. Calm and dignified, she walked to her execution, knowing her daughter would grow up without her. Years later, Catherine Howard followed the same path. The tower had become a place where loyalty meant nothing, and power meant execution and silence. For the nobility, death came quietly. Within the tower's walls, a patch of grass known as Tower Green witnessed the fall of queens and nobles. There were no cheering crowds, only silence. Witnesses and a single swing of the blade. Commoners were not granted such mercy. They were taken to Tower Hill, where executions became public spectacle. Heads were displayed on spikes, warnings to anyone who dared challenge the crown. The tower did not just imprison, it intimidated an entire nation, the princes who never left. Among all its stories, one mystery stands above the rest. Two boys, Edward and Richard, entered the tower as princes. Edward was king in name, but too young to rule. His uncle claimed to protect them. Days passed, then weeks. The boys were seen less and less. Then never again, no bodies, no confessions, only rumors, whispers, and centuries of debate. Were they murdered to secure the throne, or did they meet a quieter fate hidden by time? The tower keeps its secrets well. Torture and confessions. While the tower was not built as a torture chamber, it became one when the crown demanded answers. Guy Fawkes, captured after the failed gunpowder plot, was brought here. Refusing to speak, he was subjected to relentless torment until his signature appeared on a confession, shaking, broken, barely legible. The walls heard every scream. Truth was forced from pain, and justice was whatever the crown decided it to be. Strange and unexpected roles. The tower's story is not only dark. At one time, it housed exotic animals, lions, bears, and even an elephant, gifts to the monarchy from foreign rulers. The tower became England's first zoo, astonishing visitors and terrifying caretakers. It also protected the most powerful symbols of the monarchy. The crown jewels, crowns heavy with gold, diamonds, and history, were locked behind iron and stone. They represented authority, continuity. High above the stone walls lived Black-Winged. Guardians. Legend says that if the ravens ever leave the tower, the monarchy will fall and the kingdom will collapse. Whether myth or prophecy, no ruler has dared test it. The ravens remain, watched, protected, and fed as symbols of superstition woven deeply into British history. As centuries passed, the tower's role changed once again. Executions ended. Prisoners stopped arriving. The walls no longer echoed with screams. Instead, they began to echo with footsteps of visitors, people seeking to understand the past rather than fear it. The tower survived fires, wars, and revolutions. It watched empires rise and fall. It outlived the kings who built it and the prisoners who cursed it. The Tower of London is not just a monument. It remembers ambition that turned to paranoia, love that turned to betrayal, power that demanded blood. Every stone holds a story. Every shadow carries a name.